What do you mean it's weird for a team that finished 17th in the Premier League to go and spend £111 million the next season? Seems perfectly reasonable to me. Hopefully we won't get relegated this time round, or that might cause a problem. Hello and welcome to Season 10, Episode 4 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kev, and coming up on today's episode, we've got a live com from the FA Cup third round at home against Plymouth, and then we're playing Man City live on the telly in the Premier League. Just looking back at the game since you were last with me, I think the last one you saw was the Stoke. It was a 1-0 defeat at home to Stoke. We've found wins a little hard to come by since then. We went away to Newcastle, lost 3-2 there. Thierry Ambrose getting a couple of goals though, which was nice. We then drew 1-1 at home to relegation-threatened Rotherham with a Teixeira goal. But then we actually started winning again. Ambrose is in good form, which is just as well, because since me talking constantly about Christian Arendt in the last episode, he's not actually scored since that goal you saw him score against West Ham. We beat Southampton 2-1 away with goals from Johnny Vaughan and Thierry Ambrose, and then we beat Derby 3-2 at home with Ambrose and Vaughan both scoring again and Lacio getting a 93rd minute winner. We then lost 1-0 at home to Man United, but they're top of the league and we did all right. Couple of tactical tweaks we've tried in these games. In the last 10 minutes against Derby, we played a 3-5-2, moved Leader into the centre-back position alongside Zabala, I can't even remember his name. That's brilliant, isn't it? What is my centre-back's name? It begins with a Z. You know the one I mean. I think he's injured, so we can't even check today. I'll tell you what we could do. We could look at the Derby game, and that would tell me, wouldn't it? It wasn't Derby. Zabala. There we go. It obviously wasn't Derby we did it against, though, because he wasn't playing. We did switch that system in this game, though. Leader, Zaman, and then presumably Dane. Yeah, there you go. Playing as a three-man centre-back system with Preston and Haidara, I want to say, playing as the wing-backs. It worked pretty well, closing the game out. We also tried against one of them, and I forget against who, we actually experimented with the diamond, which we're going to be able to play a little bit more often now, because our new signings have arrived. So Martin Fritzer, he's another wonder kid, German wonder kid. It does say wonder kid somewhere on his profile. Let's just double check. There you go. Look, we have another wonder kid. But he can play as a defense. His main position is defensive midfielder. We'll probably play him in midfield most of the time. But as and when the situation arises, we can play him as a holding midfielder and actually play a proper diamond, which is what I kind of wanted to move towards when we started this system anyway. So it's nice to have that as an option now. So he's one who's come in. Will Leach, you're already familiar with. He's now arrived at the club permanently. And the other guy, who's the one we're going to see in action today, Yusuf Karaman, 23-year-old Turkish central midfielder, and he's going to come straight into the team for the game today at home against Plymouth. It's in the FA Cup, so we're mixing the team up a little bit, trying a few combinations out and just basically rotating the squad a little bit. So Sotras comes in goal. Haidara gets a rare game at left back, and Andrew Preston comes in at right back. We're going to see Vicente Herrero for the first time. He came in the summer, but he's like fifth choice centre back for us. I think we brought him in before we identified that Zabata was a thing. What is his name? Zabala, the Argentinian lad. Before we realised we were signing him, we brought this guy in. So we'll give him a go. He's not as good as I was expecting him to be, so he's probably one of the duds. Luckily he was a fairly cheap dud at only £2.5 million, so we'll have a look at him today, and it might be the only game he ever plays for us. But we do get to see Pascal Leader at centre-back, which is where he's ultimately going to end up for us once Preston is ready to regularly be starting at right-back. Chris and Teixeira are going to be in midfield with the new guy, Yusuf. And then Pedro Gomez is getting a rare start. His contract's up at the end of the season, and I need to decide whether he's going to get a new one. So he's going to play behind Ambrose and Arendt. It's not exactly a reserve team, but it's a little bit rotated. Let's just give those guys squad numbers, just really to try out some of these players. We should be absolutely hammering Plymouth today. Rotation, that's what we're doing. So Plymouth are coming here to park the bus by the look of it, basically playing a flat back six by the look of that system. So hopefully we'll just absolutely destroy them. Now, I don't know if this is my colour blindness, but I can't tell the difference between those players there. I'm red-green colourblind, by the way. I guess they're playing in some kind of weird red colour, which seems to be merging with the blue, which is odd, because that shouldn't be an issue with my colour blindness. Perhaps no one can see them properly, but I'm going to have to guess which team's got the ball. Hopefully the little names will be a little bit of a clue for me. Right, I'm a little worried. We're 20 minutes in and we've only had 34% possession against Plymouth. This wasn't how it's supposed to be. And Arendt's injured again. He is coming straight off. I'm not risking him in the FA Cup. Oh, it was a twisted knee he was out with before. He's not scored since he came back. Tell me this guy isn't going to have knee problems. Is this why Dortmund let him go? No! Fairly susceptible to injuries. The man's got glass knees. Oh, that's an absolute disaster. He's been so good. He's not going to play very often though, is he? Do we bring on Keziah Sterling or the new lad, Joe Shaw, who has been out on loan? Yeah, he's not really set the world alight at Scunthorpe or Dagenham, has he? Let's give Keziah Sterling a rare game. That is absolutely devastating about Arendt. I now understand why Dortmund let us have him for £3.5 million. They might have had a moment of panic when he was the Premier League's top goal scorer, but now he's picked up his second knee injury in 6 weeks. They're just chuckling away. Yeah, we knew that's what was wrong with him. Thierry Ambrose has just scored, by the way, so that's nice. He's in really good form at the moment. He clearly is desperate to establish himself as our top guy again. I realise as well, thanks to the YouTube comments, that I may have forgotten to actually look whether he's got his 100 league goals for us yet. He hasn't. In the last game he scored in before this one, he got his 100th overall goal for us because the little message came up on the screen. That reminded me to have a look, and he's on something like 90 league goals now. So hopefully he'll get to 100 by the end of the season, which will be very pleasant. Oh, that was a firm back pass there. That panicked me a little bit. Ambrose is through again and has scored again. I mean, that's a nice little finish there. I want to see this in 3D because it looks like he basically picked it up and had a little bit of a toe poke. So he's well clear of his man. There's no danger. I would have that really is just a bit of a toe poke from a long way out. I mean, it's brilliantly accurate. I don't think the goalkeeper was expecting it, which is how it managed to sneak in. But there we go. 2 goals for Thierry. He loves playing against these rubbish teams, doesn't he? Goes back to his big game player nonsense again. He doesn't like the big games. He was absolutely anonymous against Man United. Stick him against Plymouth, though, and he'll tear him apart. Perhaps we need to get relegated so we can get the best out of Thierry Ambrose again. Right. We are going to start thinking of rotating the squad a little more again. Oh, Yusuf, that's the first time I've noticed him, and that was awful. Probably want to be taking Chris off sometime soon just to save him for the league. The fans are starting to get a little bit worried about Chris, just like I am. We spent £10 million on him. I was bigging him up as the best of the summer signings. I had such high expectations for him, and he just hasn't done it yet. And now we've basically brought in a very similar player in Yusuf as well, which kind of tells him, yeah, you didn't work out. We might look to sell Chris in the summer if he doesn't come good soon. But for the time being, we will take him off to protect him. So we'll bring Johnny Vaughan on. And who can we stick? We'll stick Yusuf there, put Vaughan there. And then we'll give it another 10 minutes and then take off Thierry Ambrose, I think. Because he's the other main important player. I suppose Texera as well could come off. Oh, that 10 minutes went by really fast. Right, we'll give Joe Shaw a game. He can't play as a complete forward. Right, we're going to stick Sterling behind it. He can't play as a poacher either. In fact, he can play as a target man. So we'll just change that to target man. Oh, not deep line forward. Why can't I press the buttons properly? There we go. You can play as target man. Not really the way we like to do things, but he's a young lad making his debut. In time, I'll be forcing him to play as a complete forward. For now, we'll let him have 10 minutes as a target man, just so he gets used to the feel of the shirt. There we go, 2-0. Not the spectacular goal fest I was hoping for, but decent enough. We're into the 4th round. Should we try and win the FA Cup this season? Let's go and play Man City while I decide. Right, well, despite me mentioning just in the last live com that I was trying to make a decision about whether to offer Pedro Gomez a new contract, that has been taken out of my hands because I've just been informed he won't be getting a work permit. So he's gone, he's done. He'll still be hanging around the squad until the end of the season, but we won't be seeing him again beyond that. In other news, Arendt's got another twisted knee. He's out for another 2 or 3 weeks. We need a magic physio to fix him, because if he can be fixed, he'll be a long-term awesome superstar. If he's only going to play half the games every season, not so much. Although I suppose that does allow us to keep Thierry Ambrose happy, because he'll play the other half, so it might not be the worst thing in the world. Pascal Leeder's got himself injured as well, so Andrew Preston's going to be coming in at right back for the game against Man City. We are trying to bring in a proper right back as well. I'm not going to tell you who it is. If he comes in, you'll find out in the next episode. It'll probably be on loan initially, though, because I don't think we can afford the fee for him. But he's an established Premier League right back in this, obviously, not in real life, but like 10 years in the future. The other tactical change you will notice is that we're experimenting with the diamond for the first time. Yes, we're at home, and primarily this is going to be a tactic for away from home. But we're playing against Man City. They're quite good. So we're going to give Martin Fritzsche his debut, playing as a defensive midfielder. Hopefully it won't be a complete disaster. If it is, we were going to lose against City anyway, so we can not really worry too much. Obviously, a lot of players coming back into the side as well. Lazio comes back in up front to go alongside Ambrose. Vaughan comes in the trequartista role. And we've gone for Chris and Teixeira in midfield. There was the temptation to play Yusuf, although now I say that, I can't even see him. Why have I got everyone selected? Hold on. Where is he? Is he injured? I'm certain I had a temptation to play him a minute ago, but have I not registered him? Am I that stupid? Have I managed to not register the player? Or has he picked... I'm an absolute moron. I've not registered him. We'll get him registered for the next... What an idiot. 12 million pound on him and he can't play. Good job the temptation went the other way, I guess. How do we... Can we sort that now? Hold on. Where's registrations? Registration. There we go. And where's Yusuf? I mean... How do I forget to do that? I don't even understand. There we go. So we'll stick him on the bench now. I wondered why I couldn't see him. All this temptation nonsense. Right, so we'll stick... In fact, who am I going to stick him on for, though? Gomez. Why not? No point in Pedro Gomez even existing anymore. Oh, God, we've still got Jack Wilshere at the club. You forget about him when you don't see him for a little while. There he is, though. 30 grand a week or whatever. He was a good signing, wasn't he? So we're going for Chris and Teixeira in midfield. Chris actually playing in the box-to-box midfield role. I signed him to play now that we've got Fritzsche in the side to play as the defensive midfielder. And I don't know, semi-confident. If the diamond works, we could be onto something here. If it doesn't... it's Dane's 125th game for us. Yes, we've looked good in training. We're fine. I'm not that keen about having Preston up against De Bruyne. That's going to be handy. Apologies if you can hear the rain. You may not know this, but I sit in my garage to record these, and it's absolutely hurling it down at the moment on a tin roof. Well, it's not a tin roof. It's a garage roof, but it's really loud in here. So if you can hear that, I'll do my best to edit it out, but I don't know. If it's really loud, pop your earphones out for a few minutes. You don't really need to hear what I'm saying anyway. Just watch us get thumped by Man City. Right, well, we're not losing yet. Will Leach has picked up a knock, though, by the looks of it, and I don't think we've got Haidar on the bench, have we? Right. I quite like having a defensive midfielder sat in there. He didn't get the tackle in against Sterling there, did he? I mean, it's probably an unfair game to try out this young 20-year-old defensive midfielder against that attacking three that City are playing. But if he does well today, we're sorted forever then. He was very deep for that goal kick. He dropped back between the centre-backs, which is odd. I wasn't expecting to see him do that. I've put him on support so he doesn't just sit in front of the back four the whole time. But yeah, that was odd. Perhaps he's just going to be very mobile up and down all the time, which will be ideal. Sweeper when we're defending, part of the three when we're going forward. That's what I'd love to do. I don't know how to set that in the instructions. That's what I'd like to see, though. Right, 20 minutes in. We've not conceded a goal yet. Looking good. Vaughan has the ball. I am wondering whether when we're playing the diamond, we can carry on playing with a trequartista, because the midfield two have the potential to be completely overrun with Fritzsche sat there in front of the back four, not really getting involved. Vaughan just swanning about, doing whatever he pleases. These two are going to have to work hard. And potentially, if it's Chris and Yusuf in there, they've got the stats to work hard. But then I've got Teixeira set as a roaming playmaker. I think something's got to give going forward, and not just sacrificing the midfielder back to be a defensive midfielder. I mean, look, we've had 35% of possession in the first half, and we've not had a shot yet. So we've taken all the sting out of our side. So now, do I go back to the normal tactic for the second half? Because we can't have another half where we don't get a shot. Or do I think, oh, it's Man City. If we draw 0-0, that'd be smashing. We'll give it 15 minutes. If it's still 0-0 on the hour mark, we'll go back to the normal tactic. Obviously, if we're losing, we'll go back sooner as well. The moment they score, we're going to go back to that. If we steal a goal, we stole a goal. And we'll definitely stick with this. But I guess it's made us more solid defensively. But we're just not getting the ball. And that's a big worry. Right, we need to change this up because we've played an hour of football and not had a shot yet. No, that's not the one. That's the one we normally use, isn't it? No, it's not. What have I done with the naming of my... How have I named them wrong? I don't even know how that's happened. Right, so we'll do that. That looks like it works to me. And now we'll hopefully go and at least get a shot. Oh, we've had a shot. I'm a genius. There you go. Tactical mastery, that is. Right. No one's playing particularly well going forward, are they? Who have we got on the bench then? Henry Smith, you can come on. And I think we'll bring Yusuf on for Chris. And we'll do that. Chris, again, having a poor game. He is a worry. Hopefully, someone will just come and offer us... I mean, if we could get the £10 million back we paid for him, I'd be happy with that, I think, in the summer. He's going to have to go down as a flop unless something big happens with him soon and we've conceded a goal. Would it have happened if we'd have stayed with the diamond? Who knows? We've not exactly gone out and had 15 shots, have we? We've been doing it for a quarter of an hour and we've still only had that one shot and it wasn't on target. Just generally, we've been terrible today. No, they're not offside because Andrew Preston's playing everyone on. It's frustrating. Right, now we've got to do something to go and try and get a goal from somewhere. Who have we got to bring on? This is where Gomez would have been handy because we've got no attacking options now. We'll take off the young lad and bring on Cool. I mean, it's not going to make any difference going forward, is it? Other than it just protects him if it all goes wrong now. Lacio could have got there. Smith could have got there as well. Yusuf intercepts, finds Vaughan. Now Lacio slots it through to Smith. We're going to get a shot. I think it hit the post there. That was a clear-cut chance. That could have been an equaliser. That would have put a whole different look on this game. But it looks like it's not to be. Let me know in the comments. What do we think about the diamond? I'm not going to use it a lot, I don't think, because... can't be doing with less than 40% possession. That's mad. Even against Man City. They're only 5th in the league. There could have been a sneaky little shot right at the death there as well. Yeah, not particularly impressed with that. I'll go back to the drawing board with the diamond. We need to fix that midfield too. I don't think with the diamond we can use a Trequartista and the roaming playmaker. So... I need to ponder. If you've enjoyed today's episode, make sure you pop a like on there for me. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on the emergence of the new diamond if it happens. And thank you very much for watching.